man, so night 2 is in the books, early morning here. We're gonna pack up camp after breakfast and some coffee and hit the trails again. We got some miles to cover. So we ended up stopping in Lochloosa last night instead of making it all the way down to Ocala. It was a good push, but we didn't quite make it. And that's fine, and that's okay. And that's kind of the way this trip is designed, is to be able to make those decisions on the fly and decide whether or not we want to push that far or we want to stop early. And there's so many campsites along the way that those decisions can be made without any real issue and any real consequence. You just shift your timeline a little bit and it's no big deal. So thankful to Jon Birkmire, the creator of this trail, to be along and to help us make those decisions and find those really cool things and know what we should hit, know what we should bypass in order to make those loose timelines that we have. So the plan for today is to get through Lochloosa, down to Ocala tonight, camp down in Ocala, and then we will see where we go from there. But that'll be night 2 for everyone else, night 3 for Danon's family and my family, and so far having an amazing time. The things around here, the scenery is awesome. Even the highway miles that Jon has designed go through some really old, really cool towns, like Micanopy, and some of these towns that were built like the 1800s and the architecture is still standing. And you could just take some time on the gravel and on the paved paths and really enjoy that section as well. And I mean, there's just so much to see that we're super excited about this. We got coffee brewing down in the French press, so I'm gonna head down there and drink some of that and get camp packed up so we can hit the trails again. But today is looking like it's gonna be an awesome day, and I'm super excited to get back out there.
Paved, 60% paved, 40% dirt. Then we'll get to Rodman Dam, which will be, they have bathrooms there and stuff. So, I know there's a Shell. We'll stop at a Shell gas station, then we can get some ice and stuff, and then probably like an hour out of Lochloosa to Rodman Dam of mixed dirt, paved, whatever.
All right, so we just broke camp. Had a little driver's meeting. Breakfast was delicious. We had some Spam and egg sandwiches, courtesy of Mr. Asia from Baptism Overland. So super grateful for that breakfast. But like I said, now we're on the trail in Lochloosa. We're gonna try to head down to Ocala tonight. Maybe get through Ocala. We'll see what happens. But we're just really enjoying the trail and taking our time and seeing the sights to see and things like that. So we're not gonna push super hard and make this an uncomfortable trip, but we are just enjoying the Florida Adventure Trail. And man, I can't wait for you guys to get out here and you guys to experience this as well. I just know you're gonna love it. So behind me is the Kirkpatrick Dam, and that's the dam that drops off into the now failed canal program that attempted to cut the state of Florida right in half and allow the shipment of goods to have an easier way to travel as opposed to going all the way around the state of Florida. But back in the day, Marjorie Harris kind of got this program shut down, and it's a good thing that she did. There's much more efficient ways to transport goods, but the concern was all the forest land that was being destroyed and basically cutting the state of Florida in half for the canal system just didn't bode well with the environmentalists of the day, and we're talking back in the 1800s-ish time period. And I'll find some history and I'll put a link in the description below, but that's the Kirkpatrick Dam behind us, and then the canal system is right there, and that travels all the way down. And part of the reason why I love the Florida Adventure Trail is that Jon carefully curated the pathways to drop us off at awesome places like this to take a look. Yeah, it's the paved portion of the trail itself, and that's not a big deal to me. I think it's important that Jon didn't just try to connect the off-road portions as quickly as possible by way of highway. He takes you through these small towns and shows you some history of the state of Florida. He shows you some cool sites and the things that allow the state to develop. And for us, it's huge. That allows us to get the girls good hands-on with history and to really learn things. And as homeschoolers, any chance we get them out of the books and out of the websites and into the actual history is a definite win for us. So we're definitely appreciated the work that Jon's put into this trail, and it just keeps getting better. The further you go, the more miles under your tires, the more off-road sections you do, it just keeps getting better. And we're so excited for what the rest of the day has to hold, but we're gonna go take this in for a little while and really enjoy it, and man, we'll get back with you up on the trail.
Remember our pinstripes in?
Pinstripes.
Oh yeah.
Pinstripes are like the color black. Always in, it goes with everything. Ah, sweet fluffy sand. Bluegrass junction.
So sometimes the cost of doing business is clearing some trees across the trail, and right now we're just trying to notch out a section since we didn't bring a chainsaw. A little bit unprepared, but a lesson learned there. We're just gonna notch out the tree, run our winch line around it. We're gonna try to snap it where we notched it and try to drag it out of the way that way so we can continue on down the trail and hit some really awesome mud puddles. Oh man, so we just had a fantastic day of hitting trails through Loch Lusa, into Ocala, outrunning a pretty awesome thunderstorm that you guys saw. And now we're out here on Hopkins Prairie, and we're gonna call it camp for the day. We put some miles under the tires and have done a great job of wheeling and splashing some mud puddles like little kids, and man, just had a blast. A few times we're having to clear some trees out of the trails and things like that, but what an excellent place to call home for the night. And we're gonna get the tent set up before it starts raining down on us, get the kids some lunch, and just have a chance to put our feet up after a couple days of hard pressing. And man, I'm excited. I again want to thank F.A.T for providing the lights to kind of light the trail for us. It's been a huge asset that we didn't even know we needed until we needed it, and it was there for us, and that's awesome. And they're holding up great. We're putting them through the rigors, putting them through the tests, and I can't wait to tell you guys exactly how they performed here at the end. So that storm we tried so hard to outrun, we were not able to. It caught us out here in the prairie. I don't know if you can see the rain behind us, but we are hunkering down, eating lunch, and it should just pass right over. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. But man, what a beautiful campsite otherwise, and we're just gonna keep hanging out, keep relaxing. And what an absolutely gorgeous campsite. This is the reason we try to find these dispersed campsites away from the commercial campgrounds and the state parks. Those are great, those are fantastic, and there's no judgment there, and we do them all the time, but how else can you get parked in the prairie, camping, and the views and the wetlands behind you, the breeze rolling through, the bugs are at a minimum, starting to sprinkle, the rain's trying to kind of breaking off now, but I don't know where else you can find stuff like this. And this is why we get so excited about getting out here and getting on this adventure. And the Florida Adventure Trail takes you right through here, so this is an option for you guys too if you want to camp here. And I recommend it. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It is a great place to end the trail for the day and put your feet up, enjoy campfire, and just reflect on all the cool things you saw in the day prior.
Listen, he brings that stuff from the house, and I was already going,
us like Filipino Americans,
dude. He was like, that's what we're doing tonight. He goes, dip it in mustard, it'll go better. And I was like,
After that, I had to go
you did drink what?
I drank water.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
All right, so it's dinner time at camp here. We're gonna make some shepherd's pie. We're gonna get everyone pretty well fed. We got some potatoes, some meat, some corn, and we're just gonna whip it up on the new Coleman folding go stove that we're rocking. The old stove, if you guys have noticed it in the videos, has been disgusting. We've had that thing for about 10 years, and it's been through the ringer. It's starting to fall apart on us. The O-rings were going on the propane tank spout, and it was just time to upgrade to something a little bit smaller, but a little bit hotter, so we could boil water a little faster and make our meals a little faster. And so far, we're super excited about the footprint of this thing and the lightweight and the portability of it, and man, it's gonna work out awesome, I think. Oh man, waiting on water boiling, but I want to just talk about a couple of things that we added to the Jeep before we came out here, and just how impressed and how well performing it's been. So we got the snorkel that you guys saw that we installed, the Rugged Ridge snorkel, and man, that's been an incredible asset to the Jeep itself. We went through some pretty deep water crossings. We got some mud and some water going up over the hood, and I would not have even attempted that or even thought about doing that had we not had the snorkel. So that allowed us to push a little further, a little deeper into the trail, so that's been a huge asset to the Jeep. And then of course the forward-facing amber lights that allowed us to cut through the storms and the dust. These trails have been super dusty, and we've had some storms, so it really allows us to cut through that, and I'm really impressed with that. We've never run ambers before. We've always read and heard about how beneficial they can be in those conditions, and I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. It's been a godsend to have those things. It's been an incredible asset. But yeah, the snorkel And the amber lights from last fit have been nothing short of fantastic, and they've allowed us to just push further on the trail and get the miles under our wheels to get out there and explore a little bit more. And I just thought that I would hit on that while we're waiting for dinner to boil up. All right, so we're getting super fancy for the shepherd's pie. We got bagged mashed potatoes, roasted garlic. So we are going to make the mashed potatoes, throw the meat in the Dutch oven, and put that on the fire, and just kind of bring this whole thing together and feed the people. It's gonna be good.
It's always a heart attack whenever we I'm usually always
Man, woke up to a gorgeous sunrise over the prairie, and that brings us into day 3. It's been an amazing adventure just weaving through these trails and kind of seeing what Jon put together for us for the Florida Adventure Trail. And he filled a huge gap in the state of Florida as far as overlanding goes. We haven't had a a trail that kind of takes us around and shows us all the cool stuff and brings some history to life for us, and really puts together the state of Florida in a way that is super unique. And out west and even in Georgia there's some of that, but Florida hasn't had that. And Jon took 6 years of his life and a lot of hard work and a lot of gas money and mileage, and just kind of put together this 1,200-mile trail, and super grateful, super appreciative. So we're going to hit some more of that trail today, and I think the plan is to hit Ocala and just kind of work our way through Ocala in a way that we can not bypass all the fun stuff. We can see all the things that Jon wanted us to see in Ocala and not rush down to Citrus, which was the original plan. I think we'll pick up Citrus in a couple weeks, and we'll continue the trail heading towards the west coast and the Panhandle. We'll start working our way up there towards Pensacola. But for now, we're going to focus on the Ocala portion into the Citrus portion. But we'll see how far we can get today. We're not going to rush this. This has been awesome. But I'm going to start breaking down camp so we can hit the trail and get some miles under the tires today. Oh man, camp is broken down, and just in time. The humidity kicked in hardcore. We got some dark clouds forming behind us over here. So we're gonna try to hit some trails and outrun a storm once again. I'm gonna be honest, it's actually kind of fun. It's fun wheeling in the rain. It kind of makes for some different trail conditions, and that's cool to me. That adds to the adventure, that adds to the things that could happen, and working through those problems, and just creating good memories out here with people who are excellent stewards of the trail and who stay on the trail and operate on those tread lightly and leave no trace kind of concepts. And we work through the tree down problems in ways that is good for the environment. We work through staying on the trails even though they're a little bit less than favorable conditions. But that is fun for us to kind of have these different conditions, because when you're doing these long trails, it's unreasonable to think that you're going to have fantastic weather every day, and that would be awesome, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't scoff on that for a heartbeat, but you're going to have some bad weather, and you're going to have some bad weather conditions, especially in July in Florida. I don't know why we chose this day, but we did, and it's hot, but it's fun. We're having a good time. So a couple things I wanted to hit on real quick. I don't know if you can see behind me, we have this kind of fallen down barkless tree log, and last night there were two bear cubs and a mama bear trolling around here, and so you can see where our campsite was set up. We moved all of our food and all of our trash away from the campsite over there. So if the bears wanted to have a buffet, that would be the place to do it, over there, away from the campsite. So if you're coming into Ocala, or really any of these places in Florida, they are black bear country, and 9 times out of 10 they're more scared of us than we are of them, so they'll leave you alone. But you want to take those special considerations and those precautions to make sure that everyone's safe, because we can buy more food, we can duck out of here, be in a supermarket within an hour, but we don't want to tear the vehicles, the tents up, or the people up, because you can't get those at a supermarket. So we made some precautions for that, and then we had a couple tent issues with the CVT mount Denali. Our tongue and groove on the folding joint wasn't lining up very well, so I got to look at that stuff to make sure that I can realign those things, and I think it's a fairly simple fix, but I don't have great cell phone coverage when we're not with the WeBoost last night, so I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time researching that. We just kind of powered through. And then the other thing I wanted to hit on that I think is super important is the last time we were out in Ocala, we had 0 cell phone coverage. Fire up the WeBoost, now we have full bars. Another testament to how good the WeBoost is and how happy we are with that investment. And it's a big investment, but it panned out awesome. And it has allowed us to keep track of the weather storms and the weather cells that move through here. It allows us to maintain contact with the outside world if we were alone, but we have 6 rigs, 7 rigs, 5 now that Jon left us last night to kind of finish the trail off today. But those are some things that I wanted to hit on and remind you guys that it is black bear country out here. So we're gonna hit the trail now. Can't wait to see you out there.
Yeah, Brad, or Dennis, do you want to get that? Because this would be a phenomenal shot. Is everybody good with this pace?
And so we've been hitting the trails a little bit through Ocala. We found some red clay, some mud, some slick stuff, and it's looking good for the rest of the day. The weather seems to have moved on, which is nice. It never actually sprinkled, but it is still hot out. We found a nice little pull off to eat some lunch, made some quick sandwiches, and then we're just gonna keep pushing down to the southern portion of Ocala. Danon is in the lead. He's doing an expert navigation and giving us a nice tour of the area. So this has been really enjoyable so far. We're excited to keep going. Well, that's the end of the trail for today. That's the end of the trail for day 3. We are saying our goodbyes, splitting up. Asia is headed back to Pensacola. Danon's headed back to his area of residence, and we will be heading back to Jacksonville. But man, what an incredible blast it's been with Chris and Dennis, who tagged along with Asia, and just more great, fantastic friendships were made. Jon went home last night, but we ran the Ocala portion, so we went from almost the Georgia line, through Osceola, down into Lackalusa, and then down into Ocala from there, and we're going to call it for here. But then we are going to pick it up where we left off here shortly. But we are going to go ahead and say our goodbyes, trade numbers for all the people we just met, and man, what a blast this has been.